beauties, it's your girl Bree Dupree, and today I gave you guys two looks. I might do a third, I'm not sure yet, on the Jaclyn Hill palette. As you can see, mine is already a little dirty. One look is this cool toned look, which was very simple, and then I did a green and gold halo eye, which it's okay, but it's not my favorite look. I will be doing a lot more looks with this palette. I just wanted to show you guys how you could do something sort of out of the box and then something sort of simple that the everyday person can wear. Obviously, you don't have to wear this lipstick. You can wear a nude lip or a cool toned lip or whatever lip you want to. I just thought it'd be cute because this is a cool tone lip. This is Wet, which is a pearlized finished lippy stick from ColourPop. I don't even know if they still sell this or not, but it's one of my favorite cool toned, shiny, like metallic sort of lipsticks, and I just thought it paired well with this look. So the tutorials will be in a voiceover. I kind of have the same base going on, so I'm just going to fast forward through my base. And the only thing I changed in this look is a highlighter, and for this look I used the Jordana Glow and Go and Pearl Go, and Pearl Glow, I'm sorry, and the other look I used LA Colors Watt. So that's the only difference between this look and the other look. I wanted to come in here really quickly and chat with you guys about the palette, because some things I just can't say very fast in a voiceover. So I want to get into some of the shades that I do not like. I do not like these two shades right here. I know they're supposed to be transition shades, and it could be my skin tone, but first of all, they look super powdery. You don't even see this shade. And then when I go to swatch them, like, I don't know where they are. Like, do you see them? Because I don't. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Like, okay, they're there a little bit now, but you have to, like, I really had to like dig and swirl my finger in there to get any type of color payoff. I did use this palette before off camera, and that's how I realized I didn't like these two shades, because first I went in with this shade here and it didn't show up. So then I went in with this shade here, it still didn't show up. I had to go down a row and use some of these transition shades down there. So if you're a darker skin tone, like a deeper skin tone, I don't know how these transition shades are going to translate on you if they're barely translating on me, and I feel like I'm pretty pale, or, you know, fair skinned or light skinned, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not sure about that. Another thing is, I have used before these two shades as highlighters, and they're very, very nice. My favorite shade in the collection, which I do have a tutorial, I filmed it. I don't know if I'm going to put it up because a lot of things were going wrong with my face that day. The eye turned out perfect, but a lot of things were going wrong with my face that day. I might just insert that one and let that one be the third look. But there is this duochrome pinky goldy shade right here, and first of all, it feels amazing in the pan, and when you swatch it, it looks pink in my swatch, and when I put it here, I mean, you can see that gold shift. I mean, it's just beautiful. I've used this shade at least 3 times already. If you really, really wanted to, you could even use this as a blush topper, which, I mean, I'm not going to do, but if I was a little bit darker, I probably would do it. But it's just a beautiful, and I think it's the only duochrome in the collection. All of these shimmer shades, in my opinion, perform very, very well. The color I have on my lid today is a cool tone shimmer shade, and I don't know the name of it because they decided to only give the names to people who have the palette in PR, so I didn't get a name sheet. But it's this cool toned shimmer shade. It's very, very beautiful. The only shades I haven't really used on my eye yet that are shimmers, believe it or not, are these colorful ones, which is kind of crazy. Now this blue one here is also a tomfoolery. It looks blue in the pan. I thought it was blue. When you swatch it, it even sort of looks blue here, and when you put it on, to me that looks purple. I don't know about you, but to me that doesn't look blue. That looks like a dark purple. It could just be me, but I feel like that's not blue. So I might be doing a look with those two purples in the collection because those are really cute. I was thinking about doing a cut crease with one of these colors. I don't want to do a cut crease with the teal shade because I feel like everybody has done a cut crease with the teal shade. Sorry, I'm trying out this new fake septum thing, and it just keeps falling down. What else? Oh, this dark green shade here I did use in the previous tutorial. Very, very beautiful actually. And obviously you're gonna have a lot of warm tones. I'm really loving this yellow shade. I used that in my first tutorial, and I did like a red smoky eye with that duochrome shade. I used that, and I also used it to mesh my greens together, and it really blends out perfectly. I don't know how I would feel about using it as a like lid shade. I feel like it's kind of lackluster as a lid shade, and I feel that way about 25% of the matte colors in this palette. I feel like a lot of them wouldn't perform well as lid shades, but I don't know how you guys feel about that. Me personally, I rarely ever put a matte shade on my lid, so it's not a huge problem for me. But I do know some people have issues with that. But overall, I say this is a very well-rounded palette, especially this shade here I was very surprised about. When I dip my brush, I want to show you guys. What I use this brush in here. So I use a Morphe E22. When I dip my brush in here, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but there's literally no fallout coming out of there. And pigment on the brush, like pigment is on the brush. Literally no fallout at all, and that is very hard to do with these really like different colored shadows, because they have to put different types of ingredients in there, and 9 times out of 10 you just end up getting like some fallout. Per example, if I go into my Beauty Killer palette and I take the same brush, because who cares, because it's like I'm putting it on my lid, and I go into this pinky shade, I'm getting fallout. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It's not a lot. It's nothing to, you know, write home about. But you do get some balls on there. You do get a little bit. Oh, did you see that? You do get a little bit of fallout, which is normal. It's very, very normal. And I'm not trying to say that this palette has a lot of fallout. It's normal, especially with abnormally colored eyeshadows. So what I'm saying is, the way they formulated this to where it still feels soft. I mean, it does feel a little bit hard in the pan, but it is still soft, and it's still pigmented, and it still catches on the brush, and literally not one little ball of fallout. Like, it's absolutely amazing to me. With that being said, these softer shades here, like these ones, I can barely, like, I'll barely touch the pan, and I still get pigment on my fingers. But I told you guys how I feel about those. The only shade I haven't really swatched yet is this red shade. That one looks pretty cute. Wow. You might have to do a look with that. So overall, I am a fan of this palette. I have used this palette at least 4 times already, and not once was I disappointed in the way that the eyeshadows blend, in the way that they mesh with other eyeshadows in this palette, and the way they coexist with the shimmers in here. So far I am impressed with this palette. I do recommend, if she restocks, to get it. It's only $38. It's really like $35 if you use anybody's discount code, and I think you get 35 eyeshadows. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah, you get 35 eyeshadows. So if you break that down with the discount, you're paying about $1 in eyeshadow, which I don't think is bad at all. Yes, Morphe is cheaper, and this is a more expensive palette for Morphe, but when you break down the cost per pan per eyeshadow, it's really a cheap palette in my opinion. I paid a lot more for a lot less. I think my Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette was like $35. I think you get like 8 shades. So I mean, it's your preference or not, you know. I know the Subculture and the Anastasia Subculture palette is like $42 and you get 14 shades. Me, I'd rather pay $1 per eyeshadow that is worth it and that is pigmented. And the only quarrel I have with this is she never really stated if it's permanent or not. I feel like she should make it permanent. She did say she was going to restock until every subscriber got one. But my thing is, you spent all this time, and you spent all the time on different shades, on pressing the pigments different, on different formulas. Why make this a limited edition product? I don't get that. I don't understand that. For me, if I was Morphe and I spent 2 years on this, and I have colors that aren't in other palettes, and I even came up with revolutionary ways or more efficient ways to press the pan, I'm sorry, but I'm keeping this on the permanent market. Like, that's just me. That's just how I feel. But I mean, preach is on. I have mine, so I'm pretty much good. I don't really go through palettes like that to be repurchasing, but I will say that when she restocks, I would recommend that you get this. Please use somebody's discount code so you can get some money off, because I mean, why not save money? Shipping kind of took a little bit of a long time, but it's understandable considering the fact that this palette sold out in the first 45 minutes, so I'm pretty sure they got a lot of traffic. It came in about a week and a half. Normally when I get stuff from Morphe, it comes with less than a week, so it wasn't too bad. But I'm just glad I got this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are entertained by the looks that I did for you guys. I did use 2 different types of lashes. The lashes I have on right now are the 213s, and they're just like natural lashes, which you can barely tell I have them on. And the other ones I don't really care for, I realize, but they're like spider-like lashes. But they are also from Kara as well. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, or continuing to watch, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put this first. And don't forget to subscribe. We're really growing up there. I got like 120 subscribers. Wait. That's pretty cool. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye. Okay, so first I am priming my eyelids with the LA Girl concealer, and this is in the shade Porcelain. I don't use this on my other 2 videos. I use 2 different types of concealers. It doesn't really matter. Just a light concealer will do. And I blended that out with my Real Techniques beauty sponge. And I just now am setting it with the Ben Nye translucent powder. So when I originally filmed this video for this first look, it was going to be a talk through, get ready with me, so that's why you'll see me talking a lot. And right here I'm just telling you that I'm focusing my eye look around that pinky gold duochrome shade. But first I'm taking that warm tone brown and I'm going to put that in the crease, and this is going to act as my transition shade. And now I'm taking that deep red shade I just showed you with a smaller blending brush, and I'm just putting that a little bit on top, slightly lower than the first shade, just to give my crease a little bit more definition, a little bit more warmth, and to take this shift from a brown to a reddy, to a red-y, like a reddish type of situation. I'm also going to put that shade on my inner and outer corners because I am going to be doing a halo eye. So now I'm going to be mixing these 2 shades, a dark red and a lighter red, and I'm going to be putting that sort of with a flat blending brush, really deep in the crease, not blowing it out, and also focusing that on my inner and outer corners as well. I think this is the last shade that is going to be acting as a transition or defining shade. since there's no white matte shade in the palette, I'm taking China White from my Beauty Killer palette, and I'm going to be taking it on a angled fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put that on my brow bone to blend down anything that I feel like is too blown out, and also sort of like in my inner corners, because you guys know I hate getting eyeshadow right there. Now I'm taking the same concealer I used earlier, and I'm going to be sort of cutting out the halo section, if you will, so that way when the pink shade lands on my lids, it'll be a little bit more vibrant and not have any distractions from underneath it, so you can just see the true dual chromeness, if you will, pull in the middle of my eyelids. So I'm just cutting that out with a really small brush. I'm not packing too much concealer. It's very a thin layer. And now I'm going to be taking that pinky gold duochrome shade, and I'm going to be putting that on the center of my lid. And for that, I'm just using a synthetic flat shader brush. This is a brush from BH Cosmetics. It was part of their rose gold collection. How fitting, given that the shadow is a pinky gold. And then here I'm just blending and trying to get rid of the harsh lines of the halo, and just trying to perfect the eye look, because right here I wasn't sure if I really liked it or not, and I did something else which you will see shortly. So I ended up taking that champagne pinky shade and just plopping that right on top of the pink, because I felt like maybe it's a little bit too dark for this warm toned smoky eye. You can still see the duochrome, you can still see the pink gold shift. I just wanted something a little bit lighter. Okay, now that our face is done, I'm going to go back in with that mixture of those two shades. I'm going to take those two darker shades on a flat brush, and I'm going to put that underneath my lash line. And then I'm going to take the first transition shade that I used with a smaller blending brush to smoke and blend those colors out. So I went in with that highlight shade and I put that on my inner corners and my brow bone. I don't remember if I showed it or not, but I also used that shade to highlight in this video. And it actually worked out pretty well. It was pretty blinding, and I enjoyed it very well. So, okay, I think I mixed that shade. I mixed the champagne shade that I used on my lid, and I mixed the shade that I used as my brow bone highlight on my face. And if you can see my face right now, it's very sweaty. I have makeup breaking up on my nose and sort of in my eyebrow area there. So I decided I'll just show it and focus on the eye portion for this video, and not make it its own video. So for lips for this look, I used Jeffree Star's liquid lipstick in the color Hunty, and I was looking for my Shine Shock Maybelline lip gloss in clear, but I couldn't find it, so I ended up having to use the color Prismatic, which is a clear gloss with a blue purple duochrome shift, but it does fade away, and it did look cohesive with the look after it was all said and done. I didn't really get a shot of my face. I don't know what was going on. So moving on to the next look. This look is fairly simple. It's a taupey cool toned look. I'm taking that first shade I showed you guys and just putting that on my lid with my fingers. I like to do this first because I like to map it out, and I also love the blend of the shade underneath, and then I'll go back in and put the shade on top again. Now I'm going in with that cool toned brown, and I'm going to use this as my first transition shade on a super fluffy brush to really blow that out. And as you can see, I am focusing that directly on the crease, a little bit in the outer V, but really so much the crease. And now I'm going in with this darker cool tone brown shade, a flat shading brush, the same one I used in the first video, and I'm focusing that on my outer corners, and then when most of the product is gone, I will drag it through the crease just so there's a nice transition and that darkness on the outer corner doesn't seem so blunt and like sort of unplanned, if you will. And just so you guys know, these last two looks I filmed today, and the first look was a different day. So I have new products on my face. I was going to show you guys, I did record it, but it was going to make the video too long. So I just thought let's just stick to the eyes and then kind of show you my highlights and my lips. So now I'm going back in my finger, reapplying that taupey shade on my lid. I really like how the shimmer shades apply with your finger. I feel like you get the most pigment payoff with this. I felt like the look needed a little bit more dimension, and I'm trying to build up that taupey shade as well. So I went back in with the flat shader brush, build that up, and now I'm going back in with that same shade. I must really like this shade, and I'm putting that on the inner portion of my lid, and then I will go in with the highlighter shade and sort of put that in my inner corner and sort of drag that on the inner part of my lid as well. So you get a dimension of 3 different shimmers on this eye look, but this looks very elegant and looks very easy, and I really loved how it turned out. On the lower lash line, I'm just taking that darker shade and putting that below my entire lash line, and then blending that out with the first transition shade, and that's it for the lower lash line. So I popped on some falsies, they're really natural looking falsies, with some mascara. And this is how the eyes turned out. I'm taking this Jordana highlight stick and highlighting my cheekbones with it. My nose was already highlighted with LA Girl Watt. And I'm also putting that on my Cupid's bow. And then for lips, I'm going to be using this ColourPop lipstick in the color Wet, or the shade Wet. It is a pearlized finish. I'm not sure they still sell this or not. I got this a long time ago. I rarely use it, but whenever I do a cool tone look, I always try to find an excuse to pop it out because it is a show-stopping lip color. If you are not into lip colors like this, please go ahead and insert any nude or neutral toned or any lipstick that you see fit for this look. This is just what I came up with to sort of bring these everyday eyes into a not so everyday look, and I really enjoyed it. My mom did it, but then again, that's her preference, so just pair it with whatever you wanted to pair it with. And this is the finished look. You can see my face looks a lot better. My eyebrows look a lot better. We were having a much better day today because I had AC on and I wasn't trying to talk to you guys, so I appreciate that. Here's a close up of the eyelashes. You can see they look very, very natural, and that's what I was going for with this look. Nothing too showstoppy, nothing too crazy, nothing on the waterline. Just sort of simple and easy. And I really enjoyed this look, and let's get into the next one.
I know that a life without love is no life at all.
So first I'm going in with this warm toned mustard yellow-esque shade, and I'm taking my favorite blending brush with which is the BH Cosmetics 101 brush. You guys should know this by now, and I am blowing this out all over the crease. And might I just say, this is a beautiful, beautiful color. And now I'm taking the shade that I believe is called Jade. It's like the only name I know on the palette. And I'm taking a more tapered blending brush, and I'm going to put that right below that yellow shade. And I really, really love um, how these two colors mesh together and blended together. It is very, very beautiful. And now I'm taking that darker green shade, and I'm going to be putting this only on my inner and outer corners. I'm not going to be putting this in the crease at all. I wanted this to be a more dramatic halo than the first one you saw. I kind of want to give you guys different looks. So you got one warm tone look from me, one cool toned look from me, and one editorial or colorful look, might I say. So trying to give you guys as much diversity as I can here in this palette. This is a beautiful, beautiful dark green shade. It took a little while blending, but I probably packed it on there too hard. I just used a pointy brush to lay down the shadow, and now I'm using the same brush that I used to blend out Jade to blend this green shade out, and it turned out beautiful.
I know that a life without love is no life at all.
I'm going to reiterate one more time. Since there is no matte white shade in the palette, I am taking China White again from my Beauty Killer palette and blending out the little area that you guys know I hate getting eyeshadow on, which is that like point where your eyeball meets your nose. Now I'm just trying to figure out what kind of shimmer I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted to use that teal color or the gold color. I went with the gold color. I'll show you what it looks like in the palette when I move on to the lower lash line. I just forgot to show it right here in the beginning. But again, using my finger, I feel like that's the best way to apply these shimmer shades. I feel like a brush doesn't do it justice, and I feel like a brush with Fix Plus or setting spray just makes it look a little bit cakey. So I feel like your finger is the best way to go here. And just look at how beautiful that gold is. So I just did a thin eyeliner layer real close to my lash line using the Kat Von D tattoo liner. And now for my blush, I'm using those two colors in the Makeup Revolution palette as my blush. I just love the little sheen. The sheen that this gives plus the sheen that the bronzer I used give with it, which is an e.l.f. bronzer, sort of makes it so you don't have to wear a highlight if you're like into that, but obviously I'm not. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm taking that Winter Forest Greeny shade and putting that on the inner and outer parts of my eye. And then I will take Jade and blend those two together throughout the whole bottom lash line. Finger is on the lower lash line. So I'm taking this small brush and I did spray it with Fix Plus and put it right there in the center. I normally don't do this with halo eyes. I'm not really sure how I feel about it in this look. You could just stop at the green. But I mean, it was okay. It's not something I will always be doing, but I did like it or tolerate it for this look. I feel like it just gives you a little something extra. I'm not sure if that something extra is what I need in my life. I do see some people doing this on YouTube and it looks perfect on them. I don't know if it's because of my eyes or what the case is, but for me, I just don't think I'll be doing this a lot. So I put on makeup. I'm sorry. I put on mascara. I have makeup on. I put on mascara and some falsies, and now I'm just going in with that light highlight shade from my inner corners. I didn't do it for the brow bone because I felt like there was enough going on in this look that I really didn't need it for the brow bone. For the highlight, I'm using my LA Girl highlight in Watt. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite highlights. I haven't even touched my Jeffree Star highlighters and I don't even know how long. These drugstore highlighters have gotten me hooked and shook and just addicted. So that's what I've been dousing myself in, as you can see. And lately I've been highlighting my forehead and I kind of like how it looks some days and some days I don't. I guess it depends on what color my foundation is. For lips, I decided to go with a classic, and that is just Jeffree Star Mannequin. And I also put a lipstick in the center after this liquid lipstick dries down. It is a nude from the Maybelline collection. I believe it's called Buff Beige, but I could be wrong. I just put that in the center because it's a little bit lighter and a little bit it's like a satin and not a matte, so it gives you a little bit more of a sheen in the center. And this is the finished look. And you are now ready to go to your Packers game, or a sports bar, or just anywhere, looking fabulous. So I hope you guys enjoyed this 3-in-1 type of look. Let me know if you guys like this in the future. When I get new palettes, I'll continue to do stuff like this, maybe a little bit less in depth, but still same situation. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite was. I think my favorite was the second one, with the first one coming in a close second and this one third. And I will see you guys in the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's just Brie Dupree, one word. You can also find me on Snapchat, which is Brie Dupree 94. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.